Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes, I'm the guy with the dentist drill. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet, and the guy with the wrong thumbnail up on the screen. So let's fix that immediately. Welcome to the show on this, what's today? Wednesday? Oh, it's hump day. I didn't put a hump day up there. Hump day! And yeah, go figure. What's wrong with that? Anyway, hope you're having a wonderful morning. I am a little behind. I didn't even get home till 8:40, so I'm doing pretty good getting this show set up this quickly. But yeah, lots of fireworks yesterday in the Trump trials, and a couple of them actually, and also when the documents case implodes, we're gonna blame Jack Smith because hey, he's full of shit. And so is the Justice Department on these cases. You know, this is all lawfare. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. Plus, Gunfox has some set your hair on fire news he's already dropped. In fact, he started by dropping Hamilton's before I even got here. And so there's the first one, because, you know, and that makes you the new Streamlabs.
The new Streamlabs
Superstar sponsor of the day. Gunfox 61. Thank you, sir. And he did another one somewhere over here somewhere. There's one, I think. And anyway, thank you, Gunfox. I haven't even set up the I got here so late. I was just trying to get this show started, and so I didn't set up anything. So now we're going to fix that. Let's fix this. And we're already at 30. So the donation goal today is 60 daily. Streamlabs. Donation goal. There we go. And what's the date today? Oh, 5. It's this one. 2 to 4. And away we go. All right, so we got the new donation goal. We're halfway there. Whoa, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand and I'm making, I swear. Anyway, thanks, Gunfox. You're awesome. I appreciate you more than you ever know. You know, light bill. Oh, and there's the other one. So anyway, the first one says it's spicy. The second one says, oh, really now? And the third one said, somebody's in trouble. You got trouble. Anyway, should we get this thing started? You know what I mean? By the way, Rumble, there's only 3 people over there, but that's okay. I'm glad to see it. It says 4, but I'm the 4th. I'm always the one of those people in the list because it doesn't know how to distinguish between me watching my own channel and not. But first, of course, let me do this. First in chat on Rumble is Mr. Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Welcome, sir. And you're all alone. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so AD says, okay, I'm getting naked since I'm all alone. No, well, that's fine because nobody can see you. And in fact, there are 3 other people besides me. Oh, see, there's Gunfox. Gunfox is watching over there. See, I told you there's someone there. Put your clothes back on. Damn it. On YouTube, first in the chat, is also Avocados Diablo, who gets the bell. Also, good morning. Oh, what the hell happened there? There we go. Good morning, JB, Gunfox 61, the absolutely awesome administrator of the Dawg Knight Discord server. Also, good morning to Kara Soldier, Don Julio, Golf Pity Biker and Trash Band, Zed the Snarky, Patty O Furniture, Anonymity, T2, I'll be back. Good morning also to Trippy Liberty. What's up, my brother? Good morning, Tyler F. Unacceptable Views. My favorite Canadian, Jaeger Pony, not to disparage Unacceptable Views, but Jaeger's going to always be my favorite. Also, good morning, Sure You Gospel, and I said Zed already. Anna Lynn is here, and people are slowly rolling in. So, 16 people here. 20 people here. Seven likes. Fix that now, just to get it out of the way so you don't forget. And share the stream if you haven't done it already. I think a couple people might have already shared the stream. I haven't checked. Let's see here. My computer's, I'm having computer issues, right? I should do a what do you call it? What do you call those things? The crowdfund just to get a whole new fucking computer. Although actually I just need a new processor. If I got a faster processor, it might fix things. Who knows? I'm still running on an i5, and I have, how much RAM do I have? I probably have 16 megs of RAM. That should be enough, but for some reason, things are getting. Part of it is that the drive, the SSD drive is getting full, and I have a portable terabyte on that, but the SSD on this one I think might be 250. I don't know. Called begging. No, I'm not going to e-beg. I'm not going to even do that. I'm going to save my money and buy myself a friggin' whatever you call it. I don't need a brand new computer. I really don't. I have a pretty good GPU unit. I mean, it's older, but it gets the job done. It's mostly just that I've filled up the SSD, and I think that slows things down a little bit. And I opened like 50 tabs a day. So it's, you can build a computer. No, that's what I can build a computer. My son built this one, but I replaced the, I put a GPU unit in it. And how old is the computer? Well, oh my goodness. My son built it his freshman year in college, so that would be 2015. It's 9 years old, but it's not the age of the computer. It's just that I know why it's slow. I know why it's slow. I mean, ideally a new processor would be a good idea. A 3,510-year-old computer, damn. No, it's 9 years. 9 years. An i5. How is the thing not made of recyclable plastic right now? Okay. Have the i11s come out yet? All I want to do is, if I replace the processor, it'll solve a lot of problems. Because it'll, multi-core processor. Anyway. Okay, let's stop talking about my computer, okay? Let's just start the show. How's that sound? How about that? All right. Now I don't have a commemorative day. Let's see. In fact, for whatever reason, the trending topics list from yesterday, at least this morning, was exactly the same as yesterday's. I don't think it's even, unless, well, no, X-Men 97 wasn't on there. Why is X-Men 97 on here? I don't even know. But, and it's still Teacher Appreciation Week, I guess. And so, I'm sure that there's more. If I have a story for Teacher Appreciation Week, courtesy of Gunfox. So we'll come back to that. Let's just forget the trending topic. Let's just forget the special day. I didn't look up any birthdays today. I'm sure it's somebody in the planet's birthday. And, we'll figure that out, I guess. And, other than that, we're just going to skip the trending topics day for the most part, other than the trending news stories, which is what we'll do right now. So let's start with this. The Cuomo brothers. Remember Andrew Cuomo and Chris Cuomo? Well, they're in the news, or at least being talked about, because remember during the early days of Stupid 19. Hello, furry bastard, by the way. The furry bastard's in the house, and Special Can Ass is in the house. Welcome. Yeah, Andrew and Fredo. Yes, Avocado Diablo. Andrew and Fredo Cuomo are in the news, and they're generating some controversy. Now, if you remember, during the early days of COVID-19, you know, New York had some pretty restrictive lockdowns, and remember Chris Cuomo famously got COVID and spent some time in his basement. Remember that? And he made fun of people for things doing like ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine and all those things, right? And so, well, here's now these Grok summaries are really getting redundant because almost all of them say in a surprise turn of events. I'm getting tired of Grok, but here's a good summary of what people are talking about. The Cuomo brothers, Andrew and Chris, have found themselves at the center of a controversy surrounding their handling of COVID-19 policies and vaccine injuries. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo recently admitted that the tyrannical COVID policies in the state were voluntary. Oh, were they now? Hi, Simon Wolfwood. Hi, Tyre Alexander Scourge. They were. He said they were voluntary, causing an uproar among social media users who called for accountability. Meanwhile, Chris Cuomo, the former this is CNN anchor, now with News Nation, revealed he has a vaccine injury, sparking furious debate and outrage. The brothers have faced criticism for their actions during the pandemic, with some users expressing anger and frustration at their perceived lack of responsibility. As discussion continues, it remains to be seen how the Cuomo brothers will address these concerns. So remember, Chris Cuomo famously, while he supposedly had COVID and was hiding in his basement and broadcasting from his basement in his, I don't know if he lives in the Hamptons, somewhere in upstate New York. And remember that he got caught out in public while he had COVID in the Hamptons because he was building a new house there, right? And so that was funny. But also, this is Andrew Cuomo now says he had no authority to he had no ability to force the masks, shutter private businesses, etc. in 2020, calling the lockdown involuntary. Here's the clip.
I believe if government were to now say, we just made a finding that there's a new virus and everyone should do X, Y, and Z.
Notice who he's with,
the
too.
amount of compliance with X, Y, and Z would be much, much lower than it was at the beginning of COVID.
Yes, it
because
will.
people do not trust the government.
Ding! Oh, it's right
especially
there.
on this issue, the way they did at the beginning. And that would
And I
be
don't
a
trust
complicating
this hoe
factor,
either.
right? When you
sorry.
have people who just don't listen. Because government had no capacity to enforce any of this. You must wear a mask.
Fuck you.
And people wore masks in New York. But if they said,
Really?
I'm not wearing a mask.
Really? You would have arrested them if they weren't wearing a mask, though. You'd have taken are you kidding me? Wait a minute.
There was nothing I could do about it. You must close your private business. I won't.
Fuck you.
Well,
but they did. They went and, well, at least in Canada, they did. They went and arrested people who opened their businesses when the government told them they weren't supposed to.
Nothing I could really do about it. It was really all voluntary.
No,
and it was
voluntary,
extraordinary
yes.
when you think about it.
Yes, it was voluntary.
Society acted with that uniformity voluntarily because I had no enforcement capacity. So,
except you fired nurses. You did all kinds of shit. Shut up! I don't want to hear your voice, stinking dirty mouth anymore. Oh, what a bullshit artist! And then, of course, we've got his brother Fredo, Chris Cuomo. Why am I frozen? There we go. Former CNN anchor Chris Cuomo has come forward to advocate for the use of ivermectin in treating stupid 19, revealing he has taken the drug for his long COVID symptoms. Oh my God, long COVID. This revelation has ignited a firestorm of debate on social media. I don't care. The the Grok summaries of news are getting really redundant, or just they use the same language in every single one of them. So I'm going to skip down here. Here it is. Here it is. Chris Cuomo admitting, he admitted it, that he was taking effing ivermectin. Is that the horse paste one? I can't remember. Is that horse paste? Paste horse?
I'll tell you something else that's going to get you a lot of hits. I am taking a what do they call it? Like
horse paste?
A regular dose.
Horse paste?
You know, whatever.
Horse paste?
They're trying to build up ivermectin.
Ah!
Ivermectin was a boogeyman.
You son of a bitch!
You couldn't talk about it.
That was
you
wrong.
Son of a bitch!
We were given bad information about ivermectin.
Oh no, shit!
The real
well,
question
look,
is,
hey,
why?
whoa, stop. Chris just said that we were given bad information. I am going to say something that you probably never expected. I respect Chris for fucking admitting it. Now, what's interesting, hello, those ain't real, dude. What's interesting, since Chris Cuomo has left, this is CNN. Chris Cuomo has actually, I don't necessarily agree with his views, but he's gotten better about being a little more honest about certain things. And he questions the narrative that he was required to toe at This Is CNN. So it's okay. I'm still not a fan, but I don't think he's as big of a douchebag as he was when he was on This Is CNN.
Everyone's going to say Joe Rogan was right. No, Joe Rogan was saying, yeah, he was right. But that's not what matters. What matters is the entire clinical community knew that ivermectin couldn't hurt you. They knew it, Patrick.
Yes.
I know they knew it. How do I know?
They
because
knew it.
Now I'm doing
Because
nothing
they're
but
lying
talking to these
pieces of
clinicians
shit.
who at the time were overwhelmed by COVID.
The CDC lied to you with those stupid horse paste tweets. Don't take this horse medicine. Hey, dickheads, ivermectin might be the safest drug in the world. And hydrochloroquine is over the counter in most African countries. Jesus. Well, most countries that have, countries where malaria is prevalent, hydroxychloroquine is an over-the-counter medicine. People take it to avoid malaria, right? So the idea that these were going to hurt you if you took them was just flat out false, and it was the reason they were able to get the emergency use authorization for the Fauci juice. So they're all a bunch of lying pieces of shit. Let's see what else he says.
And they weren't saying anything. Not that they were hiding anything.
Yeah.
No,
but
why weren't the doctors that knew that this was bullshit not saying anything? Because they would be destroyed by the government if they'd said something. Because again, and by Fauci and the CDC people, the fuckers who wanted to, and guess who probably had a hand in this too. Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, all these companies that made the new Fauci juice. Because you can't get an emergency use authorization if there's something that can be used to treat a disease. So they say, oh no, you can't use this horse paste, and you can't use the hydroxychloroquine that someone got from the fish tank, because those are for animals. Those aren't for people. Even though one got the Nobel Prize for new medicines, for science. Holy shit! What Chris is being honest. Listen to him.
it's cheap. It's not owned by anybody,
yes.
and it's used as an antimicrobial,
Yes.
antiviral in all of these different ways, and has been for a long time.
For malaria for over almost 20 years.
Yeah. So, and
Yes.
my doctor, who is now my doctor, was using it during COVID on her family and on patients, and it was working for them. So they were wrong to play scared on that. Didn't know that at the time. Know it now.
Because you know why, Chris? I can tell you why you didn't know it then. Because your brother's the governor of New York, and you worked for This is CNN, which means you weren't allowed to admit it, even if you did know it. So there you go. And you were listening to the people. You were listening to people in your little echo chamber that all were saying, "You can't use that horse paste. Yeah, it's horse paste. You're using horse paste. You're like Elon Musk. You're going to use horse paste." Fuck all of yous. Holy shit.
Reporting on it now.
Okay, that was it. All right. So anyway, that's Chris fucking Cuomo. Now talking about how he, God forbid, is taking ivermectin. Is that, yeah, ivermectin. That's what he's taking, right? Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. All right. Real quick, let me see. I see some notifications here. So let me just say, oh, thank you. The people tweeting out the show. That would be Somnambule Nation, Sure You Gospel, Tyler F, Gunfox61, aka Mac Wolf on X, the whatchamacallit, the app formerly known as Twitter. And TC, thank you everyone sharing the show. Share the show, even if you haven't done so, share the show and hit the like button, because that's what we do here. Make sure that those little knobbers light up. What the hell was that? Now what? Wait, what did I do here? That's not supposed to be there. Let me go back. Is that the one? All right, back to, that's Chris Cuomo. That's what I want to do. All right, moving on. Other things that happened in the news. Apparently, the immigration numbers for 2023 are out. Oh, excuse me. The illegal immigration numbers. They probably only had like 1 million people immigrate legally, because that's about, I think, our limit yearly. But in 2023, 3.2 million illegal people cross the border illegally. A record 3.2 million. Mother effing holy hell. In 2023, the United States witnessed a record-breaking influx of over 3.2 million illegal immigrants. The staggering numbers, potentially surpassing the number of babies born to American citizens, have raised concerns about the impact on American society, healthcare, and the economy. As users on X expressed their opinions and discussions touched on political implications, with some blaming the Biden administration for its border policies and others calling for a comprehensive immigration reform. Fuck the comprehensive immigration reform. Tell you what, as soon as you start enforcing the laws that we have on the books for immigration, as soon as you start doing that, then you can decide if you really need comprehensive immigration reform. Comprehensive immigration reform for Democrats, that just means we're going to open the borders and process them faster. So it's unbelievable. 3.2 million in 1 year. So that's got to be, I'm going to guess that brings up to 10 to 11 million during the Biden administration. Just in these 3.5 years. Not even 3.5 years. And you know how every time you say, well, how many illegal immigrants are in the country at any given time? And they always use the same number. They've used the same number since 1975. They always say, well, it's probably around 20 million. Bullshit. It's got to be more than that. Anyway, so a couple things here. Oh, wait, what? The driver involved in a 4-car crash in Maine, which left one woman dead and shut down the highway for hours, is in our country illegally. Olgushun Shiladar was described as a Maine resident at the time he entered the country illegally in January. 3.59 million babies born in the U.S. in 2023. Over 3.2 million illegals were encountered at our borders in 2023. Now, that again, when they say, by the way, when they say 3.2 million. Okay, when they say 3.2 million, what they really mean is that's encounters. Now, and they think they may encounter around half of all that actually cross the border. So, anyway, good morning, Sully209, and someone named Ground Zero Hal 9000. International Gaza Palestinian Holocaust Remembrance Month. Yeah, you're. I hate to break this to you, but you're in the wrong channel. It's, I know it's Jewish American History Month or something like that, and so if you think you're gonna hijack that, look, maybe if Hamas didn't start, commit an act of war, that we wouldn't be having this going on right now. And it's awful that these Palestinians are getting caught up in this, but that's a whole other subject that I'm not talking about today. So there you go. But I welcome you to the show. If you want to comment on what we're talking about, that'd be fantastic. So, in Palestine, the only place we're suffering genocide where the population is increasing. Yes. And look, it's tragic that that unfortunately civilians are getting caught up in the war. Maybe Hamas shouldn't fire missiles from schools and hospitals. That'd be a good start too. All right, back to the show. But so that many, holy shit, that many illegals. Now, someone here says, wow, just think of the others we don't even know about and how many more will suffer from open season on Americans from illegals. Yeah, there's a lot of people. Now, look, and again, the idea that we only have, that people come here illegally, cross the border illegally, commit crimes, that more Americans commit crimes than the people who cross the border illegal. Well, yeah, that's a given. That's duh. You have it's 330 million versus whatever, maybe 20 million, maybe 40 million. Okay, of course, the percentage odds that people who are American citizens commit more crimes than illegals. That's not the point. It's the increase in crime that people who come across our border illegally commit that we don't want. We already have our own crime. We don't need to import more. But that's terrible. 3.2 million in 2023. That's amazing. All right. Moving on. Now, the Biden and Harris campaign is making such an amazing promise for Americans. Boy, this is so innovative and unbelievable. Joe Biden says clean water for every American. No administration has ever set out to make that real. The vice president and I are on it. Oh my gosh. They're going to have clean water for everybody. I'm just wondering the places where they're just drinking dirty water. I know that, what is it? What is that town in Michigan? That they had the lead pipe thing problem. But no, listen, and here's another thing about Grok. Grok doesn't play politics. It'll use whatever people tweet about something and summarize it. And so this summary makes me laugh. Yes, Flint, thank you. This summary cracks me up. Listen to this summary, because in fact, this one probably deserves some inspirational music. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find some inspirational music for this one. This is because this is holy shit. It's amazing that well, I'll explain it when I find some good music for it. Hang on a second. Let's go with something. Do they have an inspirational, cinematic, acoustic, beautiful, action, small and let's go. Let's try beautiful. We're gonna use some beautiful classic music for this. Maybe. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me read this one. In a historic move, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have pledged to make clean water accessible to every American, marking the first time a U.S. administration has taken on this ambitious goal. The announcement has sparked widespread support and discussion on social media, highlighting the importance of clean water as a fundamental human right. And the need for change in the current situation where 1 in 3 people lack access to clean drinking water. Hold on. Hold up. What? What? 1 in 3 people in America lack access to clean drinking water. Is that what you, did they? Does that even make sense? Why aren't a third of our people dead? Either from dehydration or whatever's in the water. What the actual fuck are you talking about? And why is that the federal government's job? Okay. See, do these people not understand the purpose of the federal government? It's not your federal government that gives you clean water. It's your municipality near where you are. It's your state, area regulate. The federal government doesn't do shit. Yes, and define clean too. Define clean. But this is not the purview of the federal government. The other day, what did my senator from Minnesota did one of these. Hang on, let me see if we can find it. Because I was like, what the fresh hell are you talking about, lady? Let me go on here in a second. I'm gonna find this. What was the dumb shit she said the other day? Well, I'm thinking, thank you, Avocados Diabli, with a small bullet in the tip jar. Thank you for sponsoring the show. Who says one of the symptoms of drinking lead is retardation and insanity, so we may need to check the pipes most places. I think a few lead ones have slipped past notice. Yeah, the ones to the White House, I'm sure. Thank you again, sir. Here it is. These idiots think it's the federal government's job to do everything. So here's this tweet by Amy Klobuchar. She says, local newspapers are closing at an alarming rate. Here's the problem with that. People rely on these outlets for important news happening in their community. I've got a bill to help outlets by letting news organizations negotiate fair rates with big tech over access to their content. Why? Why is that the responsibility? Why are you going to make a federal bill about local newspapers? That is not the purview of the federal government. These things, and in fact, same with drinking water. I can see maybe having federal regulations about drinking water, but look, the federal government doesn't control drinking water. Local municipalities, states, whatever, or some places you have to dig a well, okay? And if you need clean drinking water, maybe teach people how to boil their water. I don't know, but how is it that 1/3 of people don't have clean drinking water? First of all, in the United States, I X to doubt, and I don't get it. This initiative has drawn attention to the fact that even in a developed nation like the United States, many citizens still do not have access to clean water. Really? Then why aren't they dying in droves from dehydration? I mean, you can't get a Dasani at the local convenience store or at the Dollar General in town. Where are how are the farmers irrigating their fields? I don't get it. So anyway, this bold initiative for everyone to have clean water is just incredible to me. It's just not something the federal government should be involved in. I think maybe having some general federal regulation, but you're not gonna. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go hire 100,000 water testers? Jesus Christ. Anyway, So somebody like, and then so let's look at some of the responses to this on X. I need to go faster. So here we go. Hard to imagine, not a shithole country, and yet many Americans do not have clean water. Scratching my head. Vote blue. Vote blue. Why? What do you actually? This is insane. By the way, the Biden administration is also bribing auto workers. They're going to give $100 million to small and medium-sized auto manufacturers. What? What's a small and medium-sized auto manufacturer? They're going to spend $100 million on basically the auto industry. Now, what's wild about that, because it's the Biden administration, most of their focus is going to be on helping the auto industry convert to making electric vehicles, which would make a lot of auto workers lose jobs because it doesn't take as many auto workers to build an electric vehicle as it does to an internal combustion engine, which, by the way, most people are still buying because nobody wants to buy a fucking EV anymore unless it's for some local commuting. So, yeah, they just are Biden's stepping on his own dick every day. Anyway, wow, America doesn't have clean water yet. That's a great goal to achieve. Oh, yes, it is. It's such a great goal. Human Relief Foundation. Everyone has the right to access to clean water. It is a human right. No, it's not a human right. Your access to clean water is not a human right. No. In fact, before we had lead, those lead pipes in Flint and everywhere else where they pipe water to your house, you had to go find the water yourself, asshole. If you needed some clean water, you needed to go find it. And so no, it's not a human right. You have a human right to move around and talk and all that other shit. But no, clean water is a human responsibility for you to go find and get you some clean water to drink if you need to drink some water. So no, it's not a human right. You have to go find it yourself. No one's out there just going to give it to you. But apparently, Joe Biden just wants to, force somebody else to give you clean water. Look, clean water is, I'm trying to figure out where all this dirty water is. Imagine being able to drink water from a tap in your own home like we already do. I'm sorry. But last I heard, Flint, Michigan still doesn't have drinkable water, and it's been, wait, what? Oh, 3 years? They're saying, Biden hasn't. Look, when did Flint happen? Didn't this thing in Flint where they figured out that their pipes or the state government fucked up and they diverted water from one river and didn't have the right kind of treatment plant for that kind of, so it's fucked up Flint and eroded all their pipes and it's all fucked up. Didn't that happen like in the first or second year of the Obama administration, or even isn't that when they figured that out? And I thought, I'm sorry, President Obama, wasn't that supposed to be fixed by now? And how is the federal government doing that? Was it 2016? No, it was earlier than that, wasn't it? I could have sworn it was earlier than that. But it was during the Obama administration. And then, during the Trump administration, now they're the Biden administration. And they haven't fixed that yet? Oh my God, love this. 4 more years, go Joe. Oh my God, the American people are suffering because of you. Stop talking about water. I'm just wondering where all these places with bad water are. And if they are, whose responsibility is it to clean it up? It would seem that'd be a local problem. I'm just saying. Obama, he fake drank the Flint water for a show. Yeah, I know. So anyway, that's trending. All right, let's move on. I'm nothing about that. New news out of Gaza/Israel. As we know, that the IDF Defense Forces are now currently going through Rafah. But here's apparently there's news. IDF lookout Nora Marciano murdered by hospital doctor. It's been revealed that Noah Marciano, a 19-year-old IDF lookout, was murdered by a doctor at Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza. Noah was taken hostage during an Israel Air Force activity and brought to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Instead of receiving treatment, she was killed, as confirmed by her parents and the IDF chief of staff. The shocking incident sparked outrage and condemnation of Hamas, which has been accused of using the hospital, the place meant to sanctify life, for murder. The IDF recovered Noah's body, and investigations are ongoing, bring those responsible to justice. So that's not good. The parents of Noah, who was taken hostage in Gaza, whose body was recovered by the IDF, revealed that a doctor who worked at Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital was the one who murdered their daughter. Now, there's some conflicting reports, because this says her body was one of 2 recovered near Al-Shifa in November. Hamas said she was killed by a bomb dropped by Israel. Israel stated at the time her injuries did not match the Hamas statement. Injuries included GSWs and fall injuries. So who knows? But so look, I don't. There's going to be a lot of conflicting reports out of there, because we know that some of the reports out of there are for propaganda purposes, and both sides use propaganda in that one. But so who knows? More college campus chaos now at the University of Massachusetts and Amherst. Pro-Palestinian protests at the University of Massachusetts Amherst escalated into chaos as police officers made over 60 arrests, including students and faculty members. The incident occurred after a Palestine protester rushed a group of cops, leading to a dramatic body slam in the dirt. The university's response to the peaceful protest has been met with controversy, with some condemning the police's use of force and others supporting the arrest. Look, if you are part of one of these protests and you see police officers and they may be standing in a line or standing between you and some counter protesters or whatever, I think the smart thing to do, of course, now not all these protesters are very smart, but they're at least they're near a college, they should be. Don't bum rush a police officer. Now, some of the people say, "Oh, here, state police brutality arrest UM Amherst students for maintaining an anti-genocide protest in Camden." Now, wait a minute. Now, I'm looking at this. I think this is the incident we're talking about. Because look, they're arresting one student here. See this? You see the little red figment right there, and the police's butthole right there, right? And so while they're making the arrest, another student attempts to bum rush the cop. Watch. Oh, nope, get away. Okay, now, is that too much force to use or not? Who knows? He's rushing up on a police officer from behind, and I think maybe the officers probably would be justified in that case, not knowing what that butthead was going to do. So, anyway, so there you go. And then also, at University of Washington, now this wasn't a Palestinian protest. This was the Antifa clashing with students at the University of Washington at a Charlie Kirk event. In a whirlwind of chaos at the University of Washington, a Charlie Kirk event organized by Turning Point USA turned into a battlefield as Antifa militants clashed with students and journalists. The Tuesday evening event escalated when Antifa members, armed with makeshift shields and weapons, blocked students from entering the campus and attacked a journalist. The violence erupted around the Little Gaza encampment, a pro-Gaza area that has attracted Antifa members and other agitators. Police were called to the scene to investigate the violent clashes, which have sparked outrage and concern for the safety of campus events. So, it's 2016 all over again with a little dose of 1968. So there you go. All right, let's get into some articles while I can. Oh, wait, do I have one more piece of news? Well, we'll skip that. We'll do Gunfox articles, then we'll do the main topics, because we may not even get to the main topics. We'll see what happens, because Gunfox gave me 3 saucy pieces of information, and since he dropped his Hamilton, he is hijacking the show. Let's start with this one from the Daily Mail. And speaking of Teacher Appreciation Week, that's tasty coffee. By the way, I do have my cup of reparations coffee in the grandpa cup, because I became a grandpa in 2022. All right. Isn't it weird? My granddaughter's 2 years old. Holy shit. And the other one's like 4 months old. Yeah, 4 months. Holy shit. Okay. Schoolboy, 15, told police that anyone in my position would have had sex with a good-looking maths teacher. Math? Do you not plural? It's math. Oh, gosh, I'm starting some shit with you pond people. After she gave him her number with the final digit missing as she arrives at court wearing a baby bonnet in her trousers. Now, I have no idea what any of that last part means with a baby bonnet in her trousers. First of all, why is a woman wearing trousers? That's some pretty masculine shit going on. Anyway, okay. A 15-year-old schoolboy allegedly groomed by his good-looking maths teacher, I'll just read it the way it's written, told police that anyone in my position would have... Do I need to do one of these? No, because it's not sexy. It's a 15-year-old boy and a teacher probably in her late 20s. Or maybe older. Who knows? We'll find out. Anyway, told police that anyone in my position would have agreed to go back to her luxury apartment for sex, according to her today. Wait a minute. Why does a teacher have a luxury apartment? That's one of my questions, besides why she's stooping a 15-year-old. Anyway, Rebecca Joines' appearance was definitely the talk of pupils in her class, the boy said in a police interview played to jurors on the second day of the 30-year-old's trial for sex offenses. Now think about this. The boy is 15 now. The teacher's 30 now. When did this happen? I want to know how many years went by before she got arrested. Because in Wisconsin, that teacher, that was a 5th grader, like 11 years old. She's making out with an 11-year-old. I mean, oh, by the way, that woman's wedding that was supposedly upcoming in 3 months, it's been canceled. Aw.
Your life makes me sad.
Anyway, she allegedly, this is the teacher, allegedly went on to have sex with a second pupil around 30 times while on bail awaiting trial in relation to the first teenager becoming pregnant by him and having his baby. Holy shit. She's a hoe for minors. I don't get it. They've been doing some mining too. Holy shit. Dressed in a white blouse, Joines arrived to her trial with a pink baby bonnet tucked into her black trousers. Probably for her baby. Maybe. It is the second time she was pictured bringing the small item of children's clothing into Manchester Crown Court, having taking it to the dock with her on Tuesday. Now, perhaps she had it in case she needed to dress up one of her next sexual conquests. I don't know. Hello, selected boy. How you doing?
Yeah, boy.
I didn't say that out loud, did I? I think I did. Today, she sat and scribbled notes on a paper pad as jurors were told how the 15-year-old referred to boy A, told a detective the pair had arranged to meet up after she told him the first 10 digits of her mobile phone number. Okay, what's the first line? A good-looking math teacher. She's all right. Okay, anyway, Boy A said he and his friends had previously jokingly pestered her for it, the phone number, well, and it, you know what it is, and asked her if she was in a relationship. He tried calling each possible permutation for the final number as the Monday morning math class went on, and when the teacher reached 4, I heard her phone go off, he said, and then I went off. Boy A said his recollection was that he sent her a message that evening reading simply hi, but got no response. At a math lesson later in the week, Boy A said he sent... I said math because it's just hard for me as an American to say maths. I'm sorry, I just don't. I know why they say maths, because they think, well, it's mathematics, not mathematic. But still, maths, this just doesn't sound right to me. At a math lesson later in the week, boy A said he sent her a further text along the lines of, excuse me, you ignored me. This time, he said Jones responded. I'm saying Jones because Joins is a weird name too. And they began messaging properly, eventually arranging to meet up and go to her Salford Quay's apartment after school on the Friday. Jurors yesterday were told that Jones accepted picking boy A up in her Audi, buying him a $3.45 Gucci belt, as in pounds sterling, not a really big fat belt, from Selfridges in the Trafford Center, and then taking him to her apartment where he stayed the night in October 2021. Wait, was he 15 then or 15 now? Because if he's 15 now, he was 12 years old. I don't know. But she denies sexual activity took place. She also claims her sexual relationship with boy B, which ended when she told him she was pregnant, only began after he turned 16. Well, okay. Well, there you go. It's all better now. He was 16. She got pregnant by a 16-year-old. No problem. Just fuck. Asked by the detective who Jones was, boy A replied, she was my math teacher. The teenager said Jones was obviously good looking, saying it was definitely something he and his classmates talked about. Even before I even had her as a teacher, everyone would be speaking about her, saying she was good looking, whatever. Okay. And then, there's see the pink baby bonnet right there in her, tucked into her trousers. Asked why he thought Jones had given him all but one digit of her phone in class, boy A replied, it sounds as if she probably wanted me to message her. That's how it came across, or that's how it comes across. Boy A said he told a friend he was in contact with the teacher, and at his suggestion, added her as a Snapchat contact because messages delete. Oh, were they sending some pictures with some naughty bits? I don't know. But he said when Jones first suggested meeting up, he replied, "You're definitely like joking." However, Jones replied that she literally wasn't joking. Asked what he had expected to happen after she picked him up, boy A replied, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that to happen. You know what happened? I didn't expect that to happen, but it did. Got it hot and heavy. I feel like anyone in my position, when we arranged to meet, would, if you're my age and in my year. She is good looking. He said, okay, he's really hung up on her being good looking. She's all right. I guess if you're a schoolboy at 15, she's probably super hot, though. He said after school on the Friday, he packed my stuff to stay over. But why was he staying overnight at the teacher's house? And what the bloody hell were his parents doing? Why? So anyway, that's a trial in the across the pond, which, like many of trials in the U.S., what's with the teachers? You know what? The funny thing is, I blame it on social media. That we're finding out about all these teachers. I know there was a rumor of a teacher when I was in high school that there was a rumor of her having relations with a student, and but we weren't allowed to say anything about it. But he was a sophomore, and it's like, well, I wonder what's going on there. It's a little too touchy-feely sometimes, just a little too, the words and looks are just a little bit too close. And, I was thinking like a Bonnie Raitt song or something, Let's give him something to talk about, if you didn't know what I was talking about. All right, let's move on. Now, this is an editorial, I believe, from the USA Today that Gunfox sent me, and boy, oh boy. They're very concerned. What the hell is going on my screen there? That's weird. Why is my camera? That's weird. Oh, I see what happened. Let's see if I can fix that. There. All right. Trump and this is an editorial from the Useless today, which is editorially fairly liberal. And they're mad about Trump and ballots and stuff and him talking about the election because all elections in the United States are perfectly 100% legit, safe, and effective. And they've never made any mistakes or have any shenanigans going on ever, not even in 1960. Kennedy definitely won Illinois. Okay, Trump and the RC want slow counting of mail ballots to target Biden supporters. Now, why would slow counting of ballots target Biden supporters? You mean like accurate counting? I don't know what this means, but let's see what the editorial says. Former President Donald Trump's many lies. Now, see, there's that. You can tell where this is going already. Former President Donald Trump's many lies about how he was defeated by President Joe Biden in the 2020 election are built on his bogus bewilderment about how the ballots were counted. Well, you mean like the hidden match signatures and the ones that look like they may have been pre-printed, but definitely were not. just didn't want to look at those too closely and whatnot. Anyway, the stupid 19 pandemic boosted the popularity of early voting and mail ballots that year. Well, I don't know about the popularity of it. We were kind of forced to. And Democratic voters were far more likely to use those methods than Republicans. It was predicted months before the 2020 election that Trump would start with a lead for in-person voting on Election Day, but that Biden could catch up and overtake him in the slow process of tallying mail ballots. That was called at the time the red mirage and the blue shift. And that's exactly what happened. Fair and square. When Biden clinched Pennsylvania on the Saturday after the election, securing a presidential victory. Oh, is that when they shut down the counting in Philadelphia and then all of a sudden it came back and Trump was winning? It's perfectly legit. Absolutely 100%. 81 million voters chose Joe Biden. So Trump and the Republican National Committee, after years of trying to demonize mail ballots ahead of a presidential contest, now want to make it sound somehow corrupt to count them after Election Day. That could disenfranchise millions of voters, especially in some swing states where counting mail ballots takes days after the polls close. And that's exactly what Trump and the RNC want. Well, here's what I never understood. So let's say that you're getting all these mail-in ballots in. You're getting them in ahead of time. And some states have laws that you cannot begin to count those ballots until after the polls close, which I guess if you don't want to influence the lead or the election, maybe that makes sense. But why is it that takes them several days to count them? Because they're supposed to be there before the deadline, right? But in this election, they even took some that came in after the deadline. And they had all these friggin' drop boxes that had no chain of custody, confirmation or whatever. But anyway, that could disenfranchise millions of voters in swing states where counting ballots takes days after the polls close. It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't. You should be able to run them through a machine like everybody else. Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, gave away the game during a Sunday morning appearance at Fox News, which host Maria Bartiromo asked about a lawsuit the RNC filed in Nevada to stop the state from counting the mail ballots postmarked by Election Day that arrive after that day has passed. Well, yeah. Why should you? Laura Trump, installed by her father as the RNC chair in March. Well, no, not by her father, by the RNC. He can't do it just unilaterally. Claimed that was all about ensuring a free and fair and transparent election by making Election Day the last day that mail-in ballots could be counted. You cannot have ballots counted, Maria, after elections are over, Laura Trump declared. Laura Trump and her father-in-law's and Fox News, while we're at it, know that cutting off mail ballot tallies on Election Day will eliminate the votes of more Democrats than Republicans. That's the whole point. Okay, well then maybe teach Democrats to do some shit on time. Trump's up to his old tricks. Trump calls for election integrity again. It's the same ploy he used in the 2020 and 2016. The winner and losers of the November 5th election for presidents may well be called days after the polls close, like it was in 2020, because it takes time to count mail ballots. That election will probably be decided by 7 swing states, like in 2020, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Because states control their own elections, the country is covered by a patchwork of legislation and regulations on how ballots are distributed and counted. Several swing states have restrictions on when mail ballots can be counted, which is stupid. In Pennsylvania, the democratically controlled state house last week approved legislation that would change the law that currently says mail ballots can't be opened and tallied until 7 a.m. on election day. That bill, which must now be considered by the Republican-controlled state Senate, would allow county boards of elections to start counting mail ballots up to 7 days before the election. Well, I don't have a problem with that. Given that the Pennsylvania Republican Party is in lockstep with Trump and the RNC, things don't look promising. Many Republicans in the Pennsylvania State Senate were pleased to provide a platform for some of Trump's most ridiculous 2020 election lies after the election. Okay, and guess what? The people still voted for him. So maybe the people agreed with that. I don't know. Just saying. And then they're saying they aren't. So the whole just this article is they're trying to do voter suppression on Democrats. And since Democrats have more black people, it's probably discriminatory and against the Civil Rights Act. Whatever, fuckers. Thank you, Avocado. I'll be sponsoring the show one more time. Appreciate it. He says, I'm a little confused. The same people who have sold us on it, taking weeks to count ballots, now are complaining someone else wants to slow count. Yeah, slow counting. Go figure. Well, no, they just want, now it makes sense from the article that they want to have the counting done by election day, which, my gosh, what a crazy concept of having the ballots counted on election day. That's unique. All right, and then the last. Oh, where's the third one? Is that 1, 2? Where's the third article you sent me? That wasn't it. Oh, here it is. Here's the third one from Gun Fox. Apparently, Fani Willis is refusing to testify before a Republican-led Georgia panel. Meaning a Senate. I don't know. Let's see here. Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis said Monday that she would not be testifying before a Republican-led Georgia State Senate panel investigating her. Oh, it's a Republican-led panel. So it's a state Senate panel, but she will not be testifying before the panel. Maybe because she's concerned about criminal charges. Anyway, and she, that'd be like pleading the fifth. You're not going to testify. At an event where she earned the endorsement of many local black religious leaders, Willis said the committee investigating her may not have the authority to subpoena her. First of all, I don't think they even had the authority to subpoena me, but they need to learn the law, she said, reported by Fox 5. She continued saying that she would not appear for anything unlawful because she had not broken the law. I've said amongst these leaders, I'm sorry, folks, get pissed off that everybody gets treated equally, Willis said. Oh, yeah, except for Nathan, because you were, doing that thing. Willis, who is conducting a historic indictment of former President Donald Trump for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia, has also made headlines for her personal relationship. Yeah, she was stooping the guy she appointed to be the special prosecutor. Months of controversies have erupted Willis's original case after it was made public that she had a romantic relationship. Not just a romantic relationship. She was, She was doing that thing. A judge ruled in March she could continue the prosecution if she or special prosecutor Nathan Wade stepped down, which he ultimately did. Now the state Senate is looking to investigate whether Willis and Wade used taxpayer dollars for their relationship. Well, no, so she paid Wade in taxpayer dollars, but once she paid Willis in taxpayer dollars, or Wade, once she paid Wade, He paid Dwayne Wade with Wade. Tax dollars. The tax dollars now were his dollars. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted with them. It's just, it seemed weird that, she just decided to pay him a lot more money than the other lawyers. Then all of a sudden they're going off onto, Belize and, all these fancy vacations and shit. And a couple trips to the White House, of course. But, so yeah, but the taxpayer dollars, once they're in his hands, once she paid him, it was his dollars. But again, she shouldn't have paid him more than the other lawyers. Okay, so anyway, thank you, by the way, Avocados Diablo. Another small bullet in the tip jar. I appreciate it. Says, could they maybe just once not complain about how Trump wanting something that they themselves have advocated is the end of the world? To surprise me? Just to surprise me, please, he says. Yeah, they need to do it. Yeah. Well, look, anything they complain about is something they're already doing. So it's like they don't, it's only Trump. Trump's the only one. He's the only one. Okay, moving on. County Commissioner Chair Rob Pitts testified before the committee this week that the board has little power over Willis's spending once it approves her budget, but also dodged opportunities to criticize Willis. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reported the Hill has reached out to the state Senate press office for comment on Willis's remarks, but the committee chair, State Senator Bob Cosert, told Fox 5 that he maintains the committee has the power to make Willis testify about her spending. He said Willis could be in contempt if she doesn't cooperate. I sure hope it doesn't get to that, Cosert said to the outlet. And then, so anyway, so thank you, Gunfox, for those articles. That's the gist of it. All right. I'm already at my end, but I'm not going to end now. So let's just keep going. Because a couple things about the Trump trials that are very important. We'll go through it as quickly as we can. Now, the big news yesterday is Judge Eileen Cannon in the documents case. Now, that's the case in Florida, right? She has delayed the trial date indefinitely now. Now, the critics of Judge Eileen Cannon, and there are many because they say she's just a shill for Trump, and because Trump did appoint her. I don't know why she's on the case, but she is. But they're saying, she's just delaying the case because, she's had to help Trump. That's her job. She's Trump's personal lawyer. This and that, blah, 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 blah. No, that's not why in this case. The DOJ and Mr. Jack Smith have been up to some things that are very, very bad. Okay, let's just talk about this. Well, let's go through this article first. Judge Eileen Cannon on Tuesday delayed the May 20th, 2024 trial date for the documents case involving former President Donald Trump indefinitely, signaling it would not take place before the November 2024 presidential election, according to a filing. Tuesday's filing set a number of pretrial deadlines and hearings in the case regarding pending discovery and disclosure matters to adjudicate pretrial motions as well as deal with procedures on classified information. Given the number of outstanding issues, Cannon said it would be imprudent to schedule a new trial date. She wrote in the 5-page ruling, quote, "The court also determines that finalization of the trial date at this juncture before resolution of the myriad of interconnected pretrial and CIPA issues remaining and forthcoming would be imprudent and inconsistent with the court's duty to fully and fairly consider the various pending pretrial motions before the court. A critical CIPA issues, that's the CIPA is the stuff that they have to work out dealing with classified information within a trial. And additional pretrial and trial preparations necessary to present this case to a jury. The court therefore vacates the current May 2024 trial date and associated calendar call to be reset by separate order following the resolution of matters before the court, consistent with the defendant's right to due process and the public's interest in the fair and efficient administration of justice." Now, why perchance is she doing this? Now, by the way, Colin Rugg probably think this is great. Okay. Kyle Cheney probably pissed off. So anyway, but lots of people, the Democrats' house of cards crumbling. Now, one of the reasons this has happened is because, here, let me give it an ace here. It's because of this. Okay, and Julie Kelly, who's writes for American Greatness and also does some independent reporting, has been following this case very, very closely. And apparently in this trial, the Department of Justice has admitted, now she uses the word doctor, they use the word doctor, doctored Trump's classified documents by putting them inside classified information folders and then propagandizing the country with photos of them. So remember this photo right here? This photo, like they put this out there on X, making it seem as though this is how they found the classified documents. And remember at the time, a lot of us out here in, opinion land said, wow, that really looks like they staged this photo, like, staged photo. And well, here, Julie Kelly here's what she says. So it is the picture that launched 1,000 pearl-clutching articles. A few weeks after the armed FBI raid of Mar-a-Lago in August 2022, the Department of Justice released a stunning photograph depicting alleged contraband seized from Donald Trump's Palm Beach estate that day. The image showed colored sheets representing scary classification levels attached to the files purportedly discovered in Trump's private office. Well, included in the government exhibit to oppose Trump's lawsuit. I'm sorry. So anyway, what happened is they took these documents. Okay, here. Oh, the DOJ blitzed the public with these photos to poison the jury pool with this idea, but it was a lie. The FBI brought their own classified folders and then put Trump's documents inside them, then took pictures they immediately flooded the media with, creating the false impression in the minds of 300 million potential juries that Trump knew these documents were classified. The folders and these red markings on here, those are the folders the FBI put the documents in, laid them down, and took pictures of. They staged this photo with their own new covers to make them look even more scary. Okay, so if you want to read all about this, I have this article linked by Julie Kelly. It's called These Class. What happened here? That's not right. Fix this. On Substack, it's the picture that launched 1,000 pearl-clutching articles. So anyway, at the time, even the regime-friendly mouthpieces questioned the need and optics of the raid. The photo helped juice the DOJ's justification for the storming of Trump's castle, so to speak. The question of whether Trump had classified material with him at his Mar-a-Lago resort has captured the public attention. This is a quote. The photo published by the government appears to answer that question quite affirmatively, and that was how the Washington Post looked at it. Well, that's Philip Bump. Some of Bump's colleagues were more hyperbolic. An ex-CIA officer told ABC News the cover sheets indicated the highest level of secrecy, which in the wrong hands could have resulted in murder. Quote, people's lives are truly at stake. Without being melodramatic, you're too late. You're already being melodramatic. Anything that helps an adversary identify a human source means life and death, intelligence expert Douglas Lannon melodramatically warned in reaction to the photo. The New York Times insisted that photo was consistent with how the FBI handles criminal investigations. Quote, it's a standard practice for the FBI to take evidentiary pictures of materials recovered in a search to ensure that items are properly cataloged and accounted for. Files or documents that are not tossed around randomly, even though they might appear that way, they are usually splayed out so they can be separately identified by their markings, reporter Glenn Thrush and Adam Goldman wrote on August 30th, 2022. But new court filings in Special Counsel Jack's espionage and obstruction case against Trump and two co-defendants conclusively demonstrate that the government used the cover sheets to deceive the public as well as the court. The photo was a stunt and one that adds more fuel to this dumpster fire case. Jay Brott, who was the lead DOJ prosecutor on the investigation at the time and is now assigned to Smith's team, described the photo this way in his August 30th, 2022 response to Trump's special master lawsuit. So this is how he described it. 13 boxes or containers contain documents with classified markings, and in all, over 100 unique documents with classified markings were seized. Certain of the documents had colored cover sheets indicating their classified status. Those colored cover sheets were brought by the FBI. So, see attachment F, blah, 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 blah. So the DOJ's clever wordsmithing, however, did not accurately describe the origin of the cover sheets in what must be considered not only an act of doctoring evidence, but willfully misleading the American people into believing the former president is a criminal and a threat to national security. Agents involved in the raid attached the cover sheets to at least 7 files to stage the photo. Classified cover sheets were not recovered in the container, contrary to Bratt's declaration to the court, meaning he lied to the court, and now the court knows he lied. In fact, after being busted recently by defense attorneys for mishandling evidence in the case, Bratt had to fess up how the cover sheets actually ended up on the documents. Here's Bratt's new version of the story, where he finally admits a critical detail that he failed to disclose in his August 2022 filing. He literally filed this with the court. If the investigative team found a document with classified markings, it removed the document, segregated, and replaced it with a placeholder sheet. The investigative team used classified cover sheets for that purpose. But before the official cover sheets were used as placeholders, agents apparently used them as props. FBI agents took it upon themselves to paperclip the sheets to documents, something evident given the uniform nature of how each cover sheet is clipped to each file in the photo, lay them on the floor, and snap pictures for political posterity. That raises many troubling questions, to say the least, about the FBI's handling of alleged incriminating documents. For example, who made the on-site determination as to the classification level appropriate for each document? Did agents have security clearance and expertise related to the classifications? Did the agents know whether the document had been declassified by Trump while still in office? They had no fucking idea. The hasty assessment also appears to contradict Bratt's statement in court about the classification status of the seized documents. Bratt told Judge Eileen Cannon during the hearing last year that the records were undergoing a classification review, presumably conducted by the intelligence community, to determine the correct level of secrecy, meaning those FBI agents had no idea. Did the final analysis confirm or dispute the assessments by the field FBI agents who conducted the raid? We don't know. So anyway, they have a paper trail problem, and Jack Smith's team may have just fucked themselves. Think about it. Well, let's take a famous trial of a recently deceased member of the public, Mr. O.J. fucking Simpson. Okay? Remember why he was acquitted in that amazing trial in Los Angeles back in 1990 something? Because the police decided that they just wanted to make sure the evidence was a little extra perfect and whatnot, and so they came up with something with the bloody sock, and then they found out the blood in the bloody sock had some blood preserving agents in it. And so that piece of evidence was enough to give the jury reasonable doubt. Well, here we have a case where the FBI put some blood preservation agents on some classified documents. And I'm surprised she hasn't thrown the whole fucking thing out yet with prejudice. But, you know, she's got to be careful because they're already after her for being for actually giving the defendant due process, which is not happening in some of the other cases. Speaking of which, you know, we were talking about we haven't talked about the Manhattan case yet. But here's some good news. The mayor of New York announces Rikers Island is preparing to imprison Donald Trump. As if the judge would send him to Rikers. But that's New York Mayor Eric Adams announced that the city's Department of Corrections was prepared to imprison former President Donald Trump at Rikers Island. He's like, what's this called? You count the kittens before they get popped out, or chickens before they hatch, or some shit. Adams' comments came a day after New York Supreme Court Justice Juan Merchan, the judge presiding over Trump's business records trial, threatened to jail the former president after finding him in contempt for violating a gag order for the 10th time. So, yeah, Mayor Adams, well, we're prepared.
So at President Trump's trial, they were talking about how he might end up in jail if he continues to violate these court orders. Is Rikers prepared for that? Do you guys have those discussions yet?
I mean, they want Rikers.
So what would that even look
they
like?
want him in Rikers.
Our amazing commissioner.
Look at us. Wait. Look at this host smiling. She's excited about this prospect on the right there.
For whatever comes on
I didn't mean
Rikers
to call her
Island,
a hoe.
I'm pretty sure she would be prepared to manage and deal with the situation. We have to adjust, in this business, particularly around.
Okay, whatever. He was asked the question. He didn't volunteer it on his own, but still, that's a crazy question. And also yesterday, Stormy Daniels testified. Testified about a lot of shit that just was completely irrelevant to this case. And it's weird. Okay, so Stormy Daniels took to the stand to testify against former President Donald Trump in his hush money trial. Daniels recounted her alleged sexual encounter with Trump and the subsequent payment she received to keep it quiet. The courtroom drama was palpable. Trump's reactions and defense objections adding to the intrigue. So it's what's wild about this is as I read some of the accounts, and probably a good person to go check out Ranting Monkeys and Jack talking about this in the second half of his show yesterday, because they went through the whole thing. So much of what so much of her testimony was, well, completely irrelevant. Just completely irrelevant to the document's case, okay? So, New York Post judge allows Stormy Daniels to give irrelevant, salacious testimony just to humiliate Trump. Now, if you remember, over some case in New York just very recently was overturned on appeal, and I think they said that you'd have to redo the trial because the judge allowed testimony that was completely irrelevant to the case, but also unfairly malign the client on something that's unrelated to the case. And this judge allowed so many things to come out of Stormy Daniels' mouth that wasn't white and sticky, that she immediately made the case appealable on just her testimony, and look, the Trump lawyers objected to the entire testimony. And yeah, that was Harvey Weinstein. That's right. And so I don't know why this judge, after hearing that ruling in another case, the Harvey Weinstein case, didn't check this a little more. You know what I'm saying? So, and also her testimony, and then he denies a mistrial. So anyway, Horseface here. And it's funny because in PJ Media, prosecutors shit the bed with Stormy Daniels' testimony in Trump trial. Because the Trump trial is a political operation and not really a trial, prosecutors put on the stand Stormy Daniels, a professional adult movie copulator who treated the courtroom like one of her movie sets, and it got worse from there. By the time the oratorical dust settled, Donald Trump's defense was asked and was denied a mistrial in the bookkeeping case. So outrageous was some of her testimony that at one point the judge had prosecutors try to rein in Daniels, who came prepared with jokes, stories, and other tropes to win over jurors. It was so bad, even CNN and MSNBC noted it. So here is, and you'll have to go read through it yourself because I'm out of time here. But here's how Here's how bad it was for them. This is CNN.
Just one thing that I've been sort of noticing as this has gone on is that there have been a couple times where she seems to be cracking a joke, trying to get a reaction from the jury, and our reporters in the room have noted that the jury hasn't seemed to respond to that.
No, they're taking their job seriously.
I mean, what do you make of that?
Humor is risky in the courtroom, especially if you go in with lines, like it looks like Stormy. If something happens spontaneously, if an easel falls over, people will laugh. They're human. But it's never going to work. If you go in there like, I'm going to amuse the jury, I'm going to sort of say this clever thing.
So anyway, in her testimony, and again, you go, a lot of other people talk about it specifically, but she contradicted herself. She for at one point she said this was at a time where she wasn't dating anyone, right? So when this supposed encounter happened, but literally 3 sentences later, she said, well, she didn't want to affect anyone while she was dating, that she was dating at the time. I mean, this contradict. I mean, and that's the smallest of the contradictions. It also came off. Let's see if someone else wrote about this. Here, CNN legal analyst says Trump's defense searing cross-examination story of Daniels could turn the jury against her. Daniels testified on Tuesday in this trial about $130,000 payment to the porn star for her silence about alleged affair before the 2016 election, acknowledging her hatred for the former president under cross-examination. Oh, that's a good thing to remind the people that you hate this man. CNN legal analyst Ellie Honig and Elliot Williams said the cross-examination exposing Daniels' strong bias against Trump will impact the jury's perception of her negatively. This is some searing cross-examination so far. It's quite effective. They got her to admit up front that she hates the defendant. I mean, you almost never see that. I had a case where one time the witness had sent well, here, let him say it himself. I don't even know why I'm reading it here. Oh, no, because it's 6 minutes. Never mind. Here she says at least she's honest. At least she says it straight up. I hate him. Am I correct that you hate President Trump? The answer, yes. Later, they moved into her financial motive. They said, you want to make money. And she said again, candidly, yes, I want to make money. People want to make money. She also admitted that if he is jailed, she would dance, and she laughed. And I don't think the jury's going to like that. I don't think they see this as a laughing matter for a personal vengeance and retribution. Judge Juan Merchan, who is presiding over the trial, denied defense attorney Todd Blanche's motion for a mistrial Tuesday after a prosecution examination of Daniels. Blanche alleged Daniels was unduly prejudicial, which is a problem in New York now, thanks you, Harvey Weinstein, and that she discussed irrelevant details to the case. Again, there is precedent for turning this over in New York. Oh, my. Now, Merchant did indicate he will instruct the jury only to take into account a limited portion of the testimony. Really? Are you striking the testimony? And how detailed are you going to be on what limited portion of the testimony you're going to allow them to take into consideration? Cross-examination is always an important opportunity for the defense to attack the credibility of a witness, Williams said, and this is common. And quite frankly, could have anticipated that this is how a cross against, frankly, any witness, but particularly Stormy Daniels, would have gone. So I'm not that stunned that they've sort of going after it that way. Now, look, he's a public figure, and we've been talking about this for quite some time, and a lot of people were tweeting things about the former president. However, when you are a witness in a criminal trial against him, it's going to come back to haunt you. Do you hate him? And so on, and something, there was this back and forth over even Stormy Daniels laughing. She was chuckling in court. And this Sunday, we were talking about a little bit earlier, this program, how that would play before the jury. Now, look, some human beings are nervous laughers, right? Frankly, I am too, but I'm also not testifying in front of a jury. I think I think this is him talking, so I'm just quoting here. And I think what the part of that cross-examination was saying that, why are you laughing? Like, do you find this funny? And I think that's the kind of thing that can get in the jury's head, thinking that, number one, this person has a bias, and also, number two, this person isn't taking this testimony seriously. So anyway, but they did deny Trump's request to block Daniels at the beginning of the testimony because she was a surprise witness yesterday. All right, so that's it. I gotta close it up. There's a few more articles on that and on other stuff in the links I'll drop in the chat. I gotta go though. Thank you everybody for joining me today on the Morning Net Live. I'm here Monday through Friday. Oh my God, this fucking Google shit. I have to verify that this is me on YouTube while I'm broadcasting in the middle of a show. Just pisses me off. Thank you for joining me on the Morning Night Live. I got to go. I will drop the links in the chat and the description as soon as I can fucking open YouTube back up, because Google's making me verify myself again. But you all have a great day. I'll be back tomorrow. That's it for now. My name's Dawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. That didn't work. That didn't work. What the hell was that? Hang on. Let me try that again. I'm Dawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight. And thanks for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.